You can't defeat me.
No, I know. But he can.
Next time you ever find yourself in a fight with your long-lost homicidal sister, which might happen more than you think, well, just do what Thor did. Summon Surtur, destroyer of worlds. Or at the very least, destroyer of Asgard.
Before me, Asgard, I am your enemy.
But there's always a greater threat, always a more powerful king. Like Qui-Gon Jinn said.
There's always a bigger fish.
And in this case, well, it's Godzilla. So, who's coming out on top here? Surtur or Godzilla Earth? Well, let's get into it. But before we get into it, well, if you think Surtur takes it, be sure to hit the subscribe button. If you disagree, if you think Godzilla wins, we'll turn that notification bell. Now let's get into it. Alright, so just who is Surtur again? So the fire demon is the leader of Muspelheim, and he's the key to the Ragnarok prophecy, as it's been destined since basically before time itself that he's going to be the one who'd bring about the destruction of Asgard. So in an effort to prevent the prophecy, try and stop fate from happening, Odin defeated Surtur hundreds of thousands of years ago and took the source of his power, the eternal flame, back to Asgard and confined Surtur away, where he remained ever since. After Odin went missing, though, Surtur intended to finally start Ragnarok, get that old ball up and rolling again, only to be defeated by Thor. Then later on, actually helped by Thor, because Loki then later resurrected him with the eternal flame and used him to defeat Hela. Surtur then fulfilled the prophecy of Ragnarok by destroying Asgard. Got to complete that lifelong goal, check that one off his vision board, and take Hela and himself out in the process. So here's the thing, Surtur has always been one of the most powerful beings in the universe, and he is still one of the most powerful beings even while weakened. I mean, he was still able to nearly overpower Thor and take blows from Mjolnir. Still impressive, even while weakened. Then in his final form, once he got to Asgard, well, Surtur was able to burst out of the royal palace like it was nothing. He was able to easily destroy buildings and level mountains, especially with his Twilight Sword. Then, well, he destroyed the entire realm of Asgard. Asgard was one of the 9 realms, alongside realms like Earth, Nidavellir, and Jotunheim. And Surtur just freaking destroyed it. That sword also killed Hela. Straight up killed Hela. Before that, Thor and Valkyrie could barely even scratch her. But I think the biggest advantage here is just his size. Holy crap, it's his size. So just how big is Surtur? Oh, no big deal. Just 4,000 meters tall. 4,000 meters. I mean, look at how small those mountains are compared to him. They're so tiny. Now, technically, he started out at 800 meters and grew to 4,000 meters, so it wasn't like he was this big the whole time, but still, 800 meters is pretty freaking big too. But then you've got Earth Godzilla, Godzilla Earth. This is an anime version of Big G, who's basically a god that the Earth itself created in order to drive off humanity. He then killed every other kaiju, drove humans off the planet, and for the next 20,000 years began to evolve and transform, transforming the Earth itself in the process. So this version of Godzilla is easily the biggest one that we've ever seen, weighing in at over 100,000 tons, and clocking in at a whopping 300 meters, or almost 1,000 feet tall. So not quite as tall as Surtur, really nowhere near Surtur at his full height. But have you ever tried fighting against a bobcat? What about like a honey badger or a wolverine? Might be smaller, but that thing will still mess you up. That's basically what Godzilla is here. He's strong enough to shatter mountains just by lifting himself through them, and sends out earthquakes with each step that he takes. So that's pretty impressive. Then he also fought against King Ghidorah, ripped open its mouth, and destroyed one of its heads. That's pretty impressive too, not gonna lie. He's incredibly tough, can heal from most attacks in just a few seconds, and then he's got this electromagnetic shield around him. Basically, think of it as a giant force field that protects him from pretty much everything. That shield is so strong, it's able to withstand 150 nuclear missiles in a single attack. You could see the craters from outer space, but yet Godzilla was basically fine. Then let's say something can injure him, like King Ghidorah was able to end up injuring him. Well, he has an amazing healing factor, can basically re-heal from anything. I'm talking regenerating destroyed organs in just a few seconds. And then you gotta focus on all of Godzilla's nuclear attacks and abilities. Because man, this version of the big guy has a ton of them. His atomic breath is able to destroy mountains with just one hit. He wiped out a city made out of nanometal, which is more durable than anything on Earth. He used it to blast through the giant King Ghidorah in those animes, and even collapsed a mini black hole. He's able to launch out this atomic breath that leaves canyons behind, and is clocking in at the same energy level of 30,000 nuclear plants. He's able to channel all this energy through his tail, which can cause earthquakes for miles around. And Godzilla is able to get pretty freaking hot too. So hot that attacks literally melt before they reach him. And then again, there's that shield. That shield of his is basically impossible to get through. It stood up to some absolutely insane attacks, like literally 150 nuclear bombs. And the only reason that King Ghidorah was even able to get through them was that Ghidorah doesn't have to follow the same rules of space and time. That's literally the only reason. Okay, so those are two guys. But who's coming out on top here? Who wins? So, the most impressive thing that Surtur ever did was destroy Asgard. That much is pretty obvious. That is a hard thing for Godzilla to be able to top. But he'll try his best. I mean, he uses atomic breath to destroy the Rocky Mountains and melt the Himalayas. He was able to destroy continental plates, destroy black holes, and he used his atomic breath to destroy Gorath, a 30-kilometer asteroid which had the mass of a moon. Destroyed that sucker upon impact with just one blast. And that's the difference between the two here. Surtur is all in all a physical fighter. That's what he is. Godzilla has the strength to physically fight too, but at his core, he's a ranged fighter. That's what he does best. He can fire out powerful blasts that could destroy mountains and bust up moons. And figuring that he can hit things all the way in outer space, he can headshot Surtur with ease. In the comics, Surtur easily takes it. Easily. But in the MCU, well, I think it's a bit of a different story. And I think this time, here and now, Godzilla takes it. Godzilla wins.